Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade, where we are doing very, very well in our battle against Bretonnia. We should probably check before we move on here. Let's get into a chat with them. Okay, this is what I wanted to check. The balance of power bar indicates that not only have they managed to recruit another army, but actually they probably have a couple if they're showing up about, like, this is, what, 60% us? So I bet they have, like, 2 full armies, but the units in them are not very good. Or they have considerably less than 2 full stacks, but with good troops. So we got to think about our approach here. How many? Hold on, we should look at this one more time. How many settlements do they have left? They're showing as 9 remaining settlements. So right here is 8 of them, and then there's the one up there, and that is still all of their holdings. I guess that's not a big surprise, you know, that they haven't managed to expand during this period of us running roughshod over their country. So, Castle Artois is going to be a problem. It is heavily guarded, big garrison, and also probably all of their troops are in that area. So I'm wondering if we might want to use Bilefitch to try to draw some of the troops there away. We could send him over into Gisaru and do some raiding, I suppose. It's dangerous for sure. We got to be a little bit cautious here because obviously his army is not up to the task of actually fighting. All right, we'll raid a little bit of cash away from them. There are still orcs at their gates. Are you guys actually at war with this? I'm trying to, not you. I'm trying to select these orcs. Are the orcs actually at war with them? Because they might not be. They are not. Can we? Probably we cannot get them to join war against Couronne, because Couronne is way too powerful. Yeah, I'd have to... There's probably a version of this where we give them enough money for them to join us, but I can't imagine it's less than 1,900 gold, right? So I guess probably these guys are not going to be all that much of a help. I will say there's actually 0 chance that this is their full military force. Their balance of power bar would not be as red as it is if that was their whole army. So somewhere they have another stack, but not in any of the territories we can see. I guess we can't see Montfort, and they are at war with Vashnar, so they could have an army in Montfort getting ready to fight Paravon. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to push. We could run over here and try to grab Grungzint to prevent them from having a place to continue building up, but I don't want to get that close to the Empire if we can avoid it. So I guess let's just go ahead and move down the road. We'll be careful. We'll ambush creep a little bit. Obviously, Ikit Claw still needs to recover a little bit. Oh yeah, also, do we have any more Regiments of Renown available? Ooh, we do have a Doom Wheel. Well, that's a next turn kind of problem. Do I want you to also be in ambush, or do I want you to be bait? You know what? Given what we're seeing from the enemies nearby, probably using him as bait doesn't work, because I doubt they would fight him on purpose. Alright, and Rel is going to put down in the Great Arena, right? I think that was what we decided. That seems like a reasonable place to try to spread a tunnel system from. Some say he was killed in the line of duty. I prefer to think that he became the laboratory. Alright, so we'll dig in here a little bit. Grand is as upgraded as it's getting, huh? It's only outputting 493... Oh, you know what? They don't actually have the gold building. They have other stuff. I mean, useful stuff, one presumes, but they didn't bother to build the gold mine. Some, you know, that's some decision-making from the AI. You are totally allowed to play the game that way. The police are not going to come to your house and stop you, but maybe they should. Alright, all kinds of elf nonsense is going on. I noticed that our money output is all of a sudden a lot greater than I was remember it being. When I hit end turn there, I caught a glimpse of plus 4,300 gold per turn. I don't think that that's what we were at before. I might have to look around and see what changed. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I wonder if some of the settlements that we have Undercity buildings in had their money upgraded significantly. Like maybe they finished upgrading Marienburg last turn. Something like that. I can't imagine what else would be responsible. Yeah, 4,000 gold per turn is definitely a lot better than we were doing. Alright, Bilefitch Stab is leveling up, which is great because we need him to get to level 15 before we can unlock the last tier of stuff at the workshop, right? Let's take the other point in Scorch. Now see, with him, with our lesser Warlock Masters, I think a Doomwheel mount is totally reasonable, because they don't have a Wicked Flamethrower that they should keep using. Ooh, Fort Bergris does not have walls, but it sure does have a huge garrison. I guess that's the whole, yeah, it's a fort set into the mountains. I was trying to figure out if it looked like Bilefitch was actually going to be able to take a settlement by himself, because if so, that would be a thing to set him to, right, as a way of causing a big distraction. Apparently that is an unrealistic concern. Alright, let's probe forward a little bit. Their army's just gone, huh? Well, this could be a trap, but it could also be an opportunity for us to take Castle Artois. You know, the Bretonnians don't really do ambush mode. Or, like, they can, but ambush mode, I believe, setting ambushes reduces their chivalry, and chivalry is very important to them. Who knows, the AI still might be willing to set a cunning trap for me. Part of me wants to just run forward, and part of me is terrified of the consequences of doing that. Maybe I will lay a counter trap. Hold on, we're gonna leapfrog creep our armies a little bit here, though. I have to take you out of ambush mode. Trying to make it so that we're not terribly far apart, just in case we do wander into something. Although I guess we wouldn't. You can't bring in reinforcements to a battle where you are getting ambushed anyway. All right, I'm gonna move. Yeah, like this. We're gonna set up an ambush just outside the city. I'm not confident because I have no idea where their army is. Sorcerer Inventor, this is Scamper, Scurry. If we just attacked, as long as we win the battle without getting slaughtered too badly, we could probably defend against a full stack counter push, but also we might actually be looking at a 2-stack counter push. You know, I just don't have the information necessary to feel safe attacking the city this turn, so we're going to try to draw them out. Let's see if they respond to this in any way. And it's weird. Why can I not access the okay, because I was in the wrong menu. That'll do it, I suppose. So here we want to dig ourselves a subterranean pit, and we're going to need some deeper tunnels to cover that up, because that's how that works. That's how digging downward works. If you don't want people to notice all the downward digging you've been doing, you must dig even more downward to conceal it. Listen, anybody could just find a hole that you dug in the ground, but what if you concealed that hole within a different hole that you dug afterward? You know, just pick it up like your Wile E. Coyote, slap it on a different surface. I'm really, really concerned about what's going to happen when Reichland turns their attention to us. Hoping to be out of the war with Bretonnia before they have time to bring armies back. Ah, I see. Well, there's an army. And that was not the one that we saw before. I believe. So they're going to make a push on Lyonesse, which I don't necessarily care about. Like, Lyonesse isn't even really built up yet, right? Yeah, it's still tier 2. Yeah, if we lose Lyonesse and then have to take it back, I don't honestly think that's that big of a deal. But now that we know that that army is in no position to like do anything at all to us, I think let's just go ahead and take Castle Artois. Do we want Bilefish Stab to come in as reinforcements. Maybe not. The thing is, we actually had kind of a problem with a battle that was very similar to this recently. Not a problem exactly, but, you know, it required the resources of the Second Army to clean it up. I think let's go ahead and have Vomik approach the walls. It feels so much better now that I know where one of their armies is. Yeah, so we'll have Vomik approach the walls. Ikit Claw serve as reinforcements on this one. And then Ikit Claw and Bilefish can go after that southern settlement that only has 12 units in its garrison. Yes, I think we don't have any food, so we can't spend any food. Let's do it. Let's get in here and cause some trouble for some humans. So, pretty familiar battle, and it would be nice if we could not have to do every one of these manually, but unfortunately, that's probably just not going to be the case. The AI is never going to believe that you can just, perform a siege. It very much overvalues walls. So we don't have access to quite the same strategy here. The same strategy that we used last time, I mean, because of the fact that we're not in one of these, we're not in a corner wall situation. So how do we... I'm going to go ahead and sit with 15. How do we best deal with the trebuchet? There may not really be a choice aside from approach directly. That said, as ever, we can approach directly in a way that limits the amount of time the towers have to shoot at us. We just have to be cautious of the siege damage. So we're going to start by being really not cautious of the siege damage. That's the beginning. We could set up... Actually, well, I'm going to finish stacking people up, and then we'll scoot over to the other side of the map, because I don't want the... I would love it if we could get it so the towers in front of our reinforcing army are not manned. There's no gate on this side. That's alright, we're unlikely to use the gate anyway. Okay. So, Vomik's army is a little bit different in construction. We don't actually have an open spot here. Like they have guys right up on the wall. Well, I guess that means that we don't need the catapults to go anywhere. I'm going to unissue the movement order that I had just issued. You guys, kill those peasant bowmen. You up on that wall as fast as possible. I just clicked over here without even looking at how the towers were stacked up. So we need to clear this tower of people just the very instant that that is a thing that we can do. And then a bunch of you are going to have to find a way to get safe here. So they don't actually have people in front of the other towers, despite the fact that they absolutely should. But we have to assume that if we move units over here, they will get up on the walls and they will take control of those towers. So I'm going to try something, though. Let's move those guys out to that side and see if we do, in fact, draw their attention away from the place that they're currently aiming. I just want to see if we can draw part of their army off somewhere else. Okay, you guys all get up there, and of course we're going to have to manually command this army into the battle over here. It's always annoying. They're going to move units up onto the walls and start shooting at us, probably pretty soon over here. As well, fill the Winds of Magic pool as best we can. And I do not really have a plan here. We're just going to run this way and figure it out later. Alright, let's have a look at our approach. So, as you might expect, you know, units in front getting torn up pretty badly. Nothing for it, really. So we can throw some crackle bombs up on the wall. Can I do that? Yes, I can. I need to be a little bit closer. We'll get some play out of that crackle bomb ability. Also, this tower is controlled by nobody. It is definitely still actively firing at us because the thing is red, but it shouldn't be. All right, let's see this crackle bomb in action. How powerful is this actually? It's having some trouble. There we go. Okay, actually, for like a single unit ability, that's not too bad. And it definitely had a significant effect on their morale. Okay, so we've now carved ourselves a nice opening where we can safely leave gun troops, and we need to put some people on this wall. The Eshin Triads should probably climb up over here. I do want them on the wall, but they shouldn't be going straight up into the enemies. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Who's the enemies over here? Spears and potentially foot squares. Yeah, I don't want the Eshin Triads leading that push. Let's have Clan Rats with shields up here. Clan Rats with spears and shields up here. We can take control of this pretty quickly, I think. We should probably, like, shoot some spells at them or something, actually. You also get up here. Let's say Warp Lightning. He's pretty far outside of the action, I guess. Warp Lightning right here, and then we maybe also want to have the Warlock Engineer from the other army set up some Warp Lightning over here where it's maybe a little bit more directly relevant. These guys are about to break, so I'm going to focus my work on the ones behind them, see if we can maybe get them weakened enough for some kind of cascade morale failure. Yep, it looks like that's exactly what we got. Catapult's finally hitting where the catapult needs to hit, and you guys are really taking a lot of damage. Holy shit. That was way more than I was expecting. Right, I was kind of hoping that our natural sneakiness was going to solve some of that problem by just not making the enemies shoot at us immediately. You guys get over here. Let's get the catapult into firing position. Jeez, that's very far away. But we got to do it in a place where we're not being attacked by this tower, right? I can get control of the tower on this part of the wall. And the Warp Lightning Cannon just kind of has to get over here generally somewhere. Alright, we're working on it, you know, we're taking the wall as best we can. Over here, apparently, we've done a fantastic job. Although, I mean, obviously, a lot of that is the catapults being very good at the thing they do. We get the Doom Mortars in, so we're going to start seeing some pretty good damage done against these horses. And this allows us to get slings up on the wall, which, of course, is going to have the effect that slings on the wall has had in the last battle or two. What are you guys doing? You definitely had orders to get up on that wall. The only person who bothered to do the thing I said was the assassin. Well, he should definitely get over here and work on these dudes. Okay, Trebuchet is actively firing. Where? Wow. Thing has range. I don't think we're going to be able to do very much about that, honestly. We're probably just going to have to eat Trebuchet fire for a while. And some good damage on the cavalry from the mortars there. Let's contribute some more bodies to the wall. The Death Runners follow up, and then you guys... Trying so hard to... There we go. Trying so hard to find a place where I can tell them to climb the ladder. It's ridiculous how difficult that issue is to order. Okay, they're working on it. Let's continue to put bodies up behind them. Alright, over here we're having a different problem. They just have a lot of archers. So we're trying to get up on the wall. This would be a good time, though, for some disruption up here. Like some of this. Alright, unlimited power, and then of course a little bit of that. Wow, that was a lot of damage from that lightning. That's right, his special ability, unfortunately, is sort of a laser shot, so it's tricky to use it in this way. The Plague Claw Catapult definitely needs to start firing on these dudes right away, though. And we need to get... let's see. Most people need to get over here. Yeah, having to approach from the edge of the map unfortunately gives the enemies a ton of time to shoot at you as you approach. Okay. Reasonable catapult fire. Finally getting troops up there. We should definitely make sure that we are firing an awful lot of warp lightning at them. Here we go. This is what I really want. Look at that cluster of Bretonnians. This is going to really be something. That is maybe the best warp lightning we've cast ever. Almost certainly the best one of the campaign. Alright, over here it looks like we've pretty much broken everybody. There is one good warp lightning target left on this side, and we'll take it. Okay, I mean, they've got to run soon, right? The mortars are going to break them. Alright, so now it's just a matter of keeping up the pressure over here. No, I'm going to get Ikit Claw himself up on the wall. Pestilix is doing a great job, as is customary. Great job getting in there and murdering dudes. Alright, I think we're going to see some combats end over here on this side in real short order. Sorry. Ikit Claw should probably Wand of Jet here, since he's not in any kind of position to cast any spells in the near future anyway. These guys followed my assassin over there, which I think is not going to work for them. The enemy trebuchet has ceased fire, although I don't know why. I don't think that, I don't think they were done yet. I think it would be a really good idea for them to keep shooting. Not that I'm trying to give them good ideas or anything. Let's get you over here closer to this door, because that's the only way you're ever going to be able to participate in the battle. Alright, and is this just a single lord? It is indeed. Tancred Latrange, maybe. There's some chance that that's how that's pronounced. Tell these guys to get over here. I'm going to let my characters approach a little bit more before we engage with this guy. It's like, obviously I want Vomik up here on him. You know what, Vomik, actually, just go ahead and climb that wall, because Vomik has a good ranged attack. He can sit up there and sling crap at the guy for a little while before we head down. Alright, so we permanently broke that entire front of the battle. Up here, we could still use a little bit of a push. Okay. This front should fall relatively quickly. It turns out Bretonnian peasants do not like it when you cast spells on them. It's just they're not really well suited to the world they live in. Alright, I think it is about time we start focusing on this lord. We're going to have some people jumping off the wall here in a second to go and join him. You know what, I'm just going to have him commit right now. Keep doing your thing, because we gotta get control of the door so that we can get off the wall. I think you guys can probably just get off the wall safely right now. If anybody comes at you in a terrifying way, and maybe just doppelgang your way out of the problem. He sees the horde of vermin coming, and he wavers. You can see him wavering, but then also he does that, which is pretty good. I'm gonna tell those mortars to maybe cut it out. Let's turn off fire at will mode. I appreciate what you guys are going for, but it's gonna backfire. Okay. Now listen, I'm not going to say he's not doing a great job, but he is a little outnumbered. Can't help but notice that none of these dudes are going to the wall to throw stuff. I want lots and lots of projectiles here. You're doing your thing. And on this side we have pretty thoroughly won. Just go ahead and take control of the ownership box here. And I know they're still running stuff up. Fortunately, these guys do not actually have a lot in the way of cavalry. Not nearly as bad as it was with some of the previous Bretonnian garrisons. They do still have the Pegasus Knights, so we gotta watch out for that. But I think we're in pretty good shape here. And as ever, it's only going to take us a turn or two to get back to full health post-battle. Alright, we're starting to see. Yep, never mind. Never mind, we don't even need to have a plan beyond this point. Turns out we got him. I wish I had food. I wish that it was possible for us to use Menace Below charges to harass enemy siege units, but I just don't ever have food. Like I said before, that's going to change a little bit as we push the Empire, because we're going to intentionally blow up a bunch of our undercities, which is going to make it difficult for them to survive our push, and is also simultaneously going to remove most of our food drain. So all of a sudden, with our multiple pastures and everything, we should be producing a whole bunch of food and also making food off of the war. Just got to wait a little bit longer. And then, you know, we are also, at the same time, establishing undercities in other places, but we will figure it out. We will, at some point during this this campaign, end the turn without being negative on food. It's going to happen. Probably, maybe. Okay, of course, occupy. We're taking all of this stuff. So, points for Vomik. Oh hey, Vomik's actually about to move up. How gold is his army? Not all that gold, actually. He's got the Regiments of Renown, obviously, but he doesn't have a lot of units that are naturally in the gold ranks. Alright, you finish off Sapper, and honestly, that might be the last skill point that he even has access to that is relevant to our current goals. And we can have that hero start picking up map hero actions, just so that he can run out of the army and do a thing on the world map in case he is needed. Yeah, so when we finish Precise, we'll be level 20, and we'll be able to take Immortality, which is great. Yeah, let's have this army march over here and participate in this battle. They're going to be a little bit exhausted by the end of the turn. This will give Bilefitch the ability to gain some XP here. So what's the deal? The Forbidden Workshop, when we level it up again, we'll be able to get deeper upgrades. We'll also get immediately 5 Warp Fuel. That's pretty useful. We have not had good luck with Warp Fuel since the campaign restart. Once we get some Warp Fuel, I don't have any idea what we're going to do with it. I will probably want to build a Doom Rocket, but we'll have a little bit more than that takes. We might be able to buy an upgrade as well. Do we want to put walls around Lung? Yeah, we probably do. Probably want to prioritize that over just getting Couronne upgraded. I might feel differently about it if Couronne had a port. Alright, so we get a huge amount of money. Are we utilizing all the space in the Great Arena? You know, we could take that upgrade. I'm not going to worry about it right now. What about down here on Lothern? How's all this going? The Shrine of Asurion and Angariel are both as set as they're getting. I'm pretty sure we don't need any upgrades in our Undercity buildings over here, which means we can actually spend this money for real upgrades. It's hard to imagine that it's worth upgrading Musalon right now because I think there's a really good chance that it's just going to get destroyed. Let's do this for right now. Down here in Bordello, where things are a little bit more solid. Let's get walls around Aquitaine. This is an extra 300 gold per turn plus additional tradable resources. That's a pretty high priority. And then how expensive is the improved garrison building? It turns out is almost exactly the right price. I would like to hold on to Bordello because the special port at Bordello is fantastic. Alright, let's do this battle as well. You know what, I'm just gonna, yeah, we can just auto-resolve this one. I'm gonna expect, oh, somehow a regiment of renown from Ike Claw's army died. I don't see how that could have happened. What I was going to say there is I'm expecting a bunch of our Skaven slaves to die, because, you know, Skaven slaves. Apparently, not always how that works. Alright, we have taken control of a great big forest. Which is definitely a thing that I care about. Who says it isn't? Alright, we just need to get him one more level without him dying horribly in any way. All he has to do at this point is live. Alright, this place is very teched for growth. You have any movement left at all. Okay, you probably need to use that movement to start working toward Adelhard. Unfortunately, positioning's a little bit awkward because of the rivers and the trees and whatnot. But if we could have Vomix sweep around to the north and it gets sweep around to the south and just leave him no ground to go to, so to speak. So, when a Regiment of Renown is eliminated, they just go back to the menu. He'll be available again in 10 turns. I will probably just grab the Doom Wheel for Ike Claw's army, but we don't need to do it right now. May as well not pay upkeep on it for the next turn. And 2,800 is not a ton of gold. Are there any worthy upgrades back home? I suppose this is worth upgrading. We have a little bit of... We have a few trade contracts running, so now building upgrades that increase the amount of tradable resources that we generate are actually pretty okay. And... you know what we can do here is we can delete this nest nursery. It is producing 120 gold per turn. Yeah, maybe I'll leave it in place then. I'm gonna say we definitely don't need the growth anymore. I guess maybe we just pass the turn with the 1,200 in our pocket. Yeah, there's no reason we need to be spending everything every turn. We did get ourselves a warp fuel from that last battle, so we're at 2 warp fuel. We're going to need a whole bunch more, and we are not close to having level 15 on our Warlock Master, so we're just going to have to get it all through battle. There might actually be a... I'm pretty sure there is a warp fuel upgrade that helps you get more warp fuel. I do not remember what the cost was, though. Alright, so Corona is now reading as more powerful than we are. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to bother spending money to upgrade Musalon, because if that army decides to turn south and take it, there's nothing we can do about it. Okay. That is fine. It's not a big deal. It turns out there's some Barrow Legion dudes in our territory, and also the Dark Elves are declaring war on each other, and also Snow Orcs just showed up. Things are about to get real lively for those Dark Elves. Oh hey, Vashnar has finally started recruiting an army again. Oh, and Arat's back. Okay, raise or sack Eilhart within 13 turns for 1,200 gold. That seems a little ambitious to me. Also, apparently we gained quite a number of the same follower. Alright, so this is good for us. We can see a little bit what's going on with the enemies. So here's Luen. He's back. He's got a regiment of renown of his own here. Knights of the Realm with what look like glowing lances. I was assuming that they would be dealing fire damage. They are not. And then a bunch of other Knights of the Realm. Very cavalry-heavy composition still. No big surprises there. He's at war with Valdemar von Deal, but unfortunately Valdemar is not a very large army and he's suffering active attrition, so he's probably already dead. Is this a rebellion army? It must be. Because the Barrow Legion was eliminated, right? The Barrow Legion rebels will still appear in territory they used to control when public order gets too low. So we just want to push on Musalon. Honestly, we probably don't need a second army to come back here with us.
Storm demons not for cutting trees.
I think I'm just gonna go to here. We won't march, but we also won't go into ambush mode. We'll press toward them, but we still have here the flexibility to run away if we get attacked or whatever, you know. Whatever we need to do. Vicious Gobspit is no longer looking so helpful. Can't do any upgrading here, so we do have to figure out what we want to do with Vomik. I'm thinking Vomik and Bilefitch probably need to work together to bring Lewin down. Why don't we... We're still replenishing a little bit, so let's stay on this side of the line. But honestly, even just like being near Gisaru, that might be enough to draw them forward. They probably want to take their territory back, right? Bilefitch should probably get some better units. Maybe that's a thing to do right now, just put him into recruitment mode. We're making an awful lot of money again. That's part of what I'm thinking. And actually, you know what he could be doing? He can be recruiting units that we intend to pass up to the other army. It's like triads and death runners and stuff. Your skill trees give bonuses to night runners, gutter runners, death runners, plague monks, Eshin triads, and storm vermin. So let's get some of those things. What does his army actually need right now? I probably don't want to just replace clan rats with Eshin, right? These guys have 26 attack, 32 defense, 9,600 health. Yes, there's almost twice as much total health in a unit of Eshin triads. Obviously, they're a little bit better at fighting. What do I want to do here? This army is, like, real weird. Maybe I want to replace a couple units of Night Runners. We probably don't need 6 units of Night Runners. Let's say we replace 2 units of Night Runners straight up with units of, I guess, Death Runners? Well, we're going up against a lot of horses right now. I was going to say we don't really need more guys with spears, but that's ridiculous. We're fighting Bretonnia. Of course we need more guys with spears. And then... So right now his army is full of Night Runners, right? But I think Gutter Runners are better at that job. They're like the same guy, but better. Let's do a little comparison here. Alright. A Night Runner has 21 missile damage, 26 attack, 15 defense, as compared to, say, a Gutter Runner. Let's compare them to, the normal Gutter Runners. Normal Gutter Runners are better in literally every single way. Okay, well then bring me a Gutter Runner. The Gutter Runner Slingers have better range, but don't have the ability to fire while moving. They have the good slings. I think we could probably go for some poison runners. Because I think we want his army to stay very mobile. Alright, so now I'm sitting here, I'm in replenishment mode. My army on the whole is very weak, though. I'm hoping Luen takes the bait and runs over here and gets ambushed. And hey, look who it is. Arat's back. Well, maybe you should try to get rid of this dude, because you're still not done training up to become more effective. We have some warp fuel and a little bit of food. Ooh, also, successful assassination. Nicely done. Yeah, we have some warp fuel and a little bit of food, so we could maybe buy an upgrade. One of these things... Double chance to recover warp fuel after using a Doom Rocket in battle. That's not bad. Casualty replenishment up is also not bad. Doom Rockets do more damage. Seems a little over the top. Maybe I was misremembering. I thought that one of these upgrades gave you a better chance to find warp fuel after battle. But I guess maybe I was just thinking of this. Okay, well then what do we want to put our warp fuel toward? Obviously we have upgrades that we could unlock here. Things like claw crafted... Oh wow, yeah, that's probably... It's going to be a while before we have access to this tier of stuff, though. Yeah, we have more Doomflayers in our armies now. Okay, it takes one more warp fuel to buy those upgrades. We could do that. I know we're a little short on food, but that will get fixed automatically. Massive is now ready to defend itself. Let's stop in and chat with Vashnar. Ooh, he might go for the trade agreement. That's a shame. How about the military access? Nope, and he definitely won't do them together. We saw that was red. He's softening, though. If we can just help him turn into a little nation state, hopefully he can be a good economic partner for us later. So I guess we're good for right now. Definitely feels like I should be doing more this turn, but I don't know exactly what I'm thinking of here. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're good for the turn. So a lot of this next turn, a lot of our actions for the next turn are dependent on what the Bretonnians do. We can't really plan ahead too much here. We encountered a new faction of Norskins. Is this really the thing to be doing at this moment? You guys just had a whole bunch of High Elf armies on your doorstep. I think if there was ever a moment for solidarity, this is that moment. Think how much damage they could do if they just both sailed to Ulthuan at the same time, arm in arm. Uh-oh. Well, the good news is he didn't see Vomik. I mean, it looks like we can just take an auto-resolve victory here. I don't necessarily want to fight what is going to be a pretty similar battle to the battles we've been fighting. We have limited human time. I might just take the auto-resolve. I think it's probably going to wipe out a lot of Bilefitch's army, but also, if we do this manually, we're going to lose a lot of Bilefitch's army. I am in a quick save, though, just in case it gives us a completely insane result. I'm, broadly speaking, against save scumming, but sometimes this game... Okay, a Pyrrhic victory. Honestly, this looks to me like about the way I would have expected this to go for us. We have slain Eben von Leibwitz. I want to say he's actually a character, like a real character. He might be a guy who, he's one of the lords of one of the minor Empire factions. Alright, the orcs are going to go and continue to be a problem for other people, which is great. I was a little concerned when we took Castle Artois right in front of them. They might take advantage of the moment and decide to declare war on us. Not that I necessarily think that would have been a good idea for them. As the Great Vortex vacillates on its axis, the winds of magic fluctuate distressingly. -6 leadership for everybody for 3 turns. Really? That's crummy. It's not the end of the world. But it's not good. Okay, well, we can go retake Musalon. I think what I want to do here is just run up as close to 25% as possible. So I'm going to have to actually cross the river. Maybe what we want to do this turn, actually, is just underway move. Somewhere over here. I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to hit these guys in the back next turn. I'm a little worried that if we do a normal walk move, but we stop into ambush mode so as not to give ourselves away, we won't be able to make the run since we'll have to cross the river next turn. So I guess let's cross it this turn. I'm certainly not worried about these guys turning around and defeating us in combat. What I'm mostly worried about is letting them know we're here so that they run away. But we'll see what they do here. They should be a little panicked. So Vomik actually recovered 100% at the beginning of our turn from the battle. Yeah, I don't have any idea what to do with you now. We could give you personal armor and missile resistance, or melee attack, weapon strength, and also magic damage. The other thing we could do is have him boost income, but the thing is I don't foresee him sitting around in our territory all that much, and especially not in our territory in a place that's actually making money. Those places tend to be pretty far from the front. I guess let's take Augmented Weapon. Sometimes the Warlock Master, the Warlock Engineer rather, has to engage in combat. It's never a thing we're happy about, but it happens. So Blackstone Post is actually pretty small and weak. I don't think we want to try to turn our Undercity here to our advantage or anything. We probably just want to take Blackstone Post from them. Yeah. The fort itself is not super valuable, and also it's going to be a real pain to get it, so let's go the other way. Do we want Vomic to just roll over here by himself, though? Probably not. You know what? I'm going to stay in place one more turn. We'll let Bilefitch finish that recruitment and also finish recovering his injured units. And actually, we should throw some local unit recruitment in here as well. Just get him back up to size. So we'll move next turn. We'll re-enable ambush mode here. And we'll come at him next turn.
Targets. This camp is scary.
Erat successfully assassinated somebody last turn, so we won't even bother looking at his accomplishment percentages, but we will have him just get vision on these dwarf holds up here. Castle Carcassonne could upgrade from 3 to 4. That's not a super high priority for me, honestly. I suppose it wouldn't be a bad thing. Here's what I'm going to do. We're definitely going to build ourselves a new trade good, and then yeah, we can also do that. Castle Artois should probably be upgraded. Actually, let's prioritize Gisaru first, because I really do want to get walls around it. Castle Artois is actually pretty well defended from enemies by its position. Anybody going around to the north is going to stop and try to take Couronne first, and anybody coming through the south is going to stop at Gisaru first, so... And then we have a couple of schemes available. We could summon a Plague Priest and just send him somewhere to mess with people. It's only 1,000 gold. Yeah, I don't really have a strong plan for a Plague Priest, but we'll find something for him. Did he spawn at the capital? Yeah, that's a shame. Going to be completely irrelevant to the current ongoing thing. So we got our third point of warp fuel. We should probably have a look at these. So, plus 8 bonus versus infantry. Remember, typed bonuses like that are both melee attack and weapon damage. So those are pretty good. Characters on Doomflayer mounts is not really a thing we have any of. Melee attack and weapon strength up is probably just flat better than this. The 15-point charge bonus is not nothing. We do charge them an awful lot. Aerodynamics. Get it? Cause get it? It's weird that this has a buff for all characters, even ones who are not using Doomflayer mounts attached to it. We don't use Scorch all that much. Partially because a lot of battles are siege battles and Scorch is unpredictable near walls. I am inclined to take Obsidian Alloy, I think. I think Obsidian Alloy is a very, very good upgrade. We can earn ourselves some equipment for our lords, and eventually, a fancy Doomflayer. Wow, plus 24 armor whenever you're in melee. That's not bad at all. Alright, let's see if anybody else wants to wander into the ambush around Gisaru. Probably. The Bretonnians and the Empire are not in, like, close communication. You know, the Bretonnians won't be warned. There's a chance they'll just wander in here like idiots. We gotta really hope so, because I really need an advantage against Luan. I mean, it's not inconceivable that we could just march our 2 stacks over to Blackstone Post and take it. Given that, Ooh, okay. He's gonna attack Leoness. Yeah, he hung out here long enough to build a single battering ram. I'm debating whether we want to do this manually. We might want to, just to try to slow these guys down a little bit. So they have 2 units of flying cavalry, a blessed field trebuchet. So, to be clear, we do not win this battle, under, like, any circumstances. We don't have anybody who can hold the wall. But I think we're going to go ahead and do it manually. I'm even going to pull in the 1 food charge, since we're going to lose that food at the start of our turn anyway. We're just going to do as much damage to them as possible, because I want Ikit Claw to be able to roll over here, bring these guys down with minimum losses and immediately be full sprinting back over to the front. And who knows, maybe they will screw this up somehow and fail to take control of the city. I can't imagine, but we should do our best to make them pay for it anyway. The AI is not always so smart when it comes to sieges. We do have spears to clog the gates and stuff. I think their flying units are going to be a real problem. Actually, they did not build rams. That's weird. They spent a turn in siege mode at our city when they didn't have to, because they could have just attacked with the trebuchet on the first turn. And they didn't even use the time to do anything?
Come on.
That's weird. So yeah, we're going to put one unit of clan rat spears right up against the wall here, as tight against the wall as possible, so as to not give them an angle on it. We're going to do the same thing at the other gate, I guess? We probably want to put more people on the walls, because they are going to have flying units. We definitely want to be able to shoot at their flying units. Okay, so those guys will be able to control both those towers. You guys are trying to position yourselves just far enough over to not have any control over the gate, which is obviously terrible. And then over here we have clan rat swords with shields. I do need another unit of spears for the other gate, just in case. We can move up one of the shield units. Okay, that is control of all the towers. So as soon as the towers actually turn yellow, there we go. Let's pick out manual targets for them. So these guys are Grail Knights. I really think it's important that our towers be shooting at enemies that can actually get up on the walls first. I'm actually going to focus on the field trebuchet with these guys. Let's try to bust those down, because you can do some pretty good damage to some siege weapons with a tower. And then over here, I'm going to work out their melee as hard as we can. Obviously, the peasant mobs are a low priority. Yeah, and here, our target definitely has to be the flyers, with the towers on this side. This tower, sadly, is going to have nothing to do very, very shortly. So you guys are up there, you guys are up there. I should have moved one of the units of slingers over to this side for the flyers. Oh well. So you can see here, these hippogriffs are very majestic. Somewhat less majestic when getting shot in the face, although, you know, who among us, right? These guys are also pretty cool looking, taking very small amounts of damage as they just hover there and wait. See, we're already starting to do some good damage here. It's not super likely that we'll kill the siege crews, but you can see here a direct hit or two will disable one of the actual trebuchets. I think that's our best hope. Because those trebs are going to do a lot of damage to the walls if they shoot at the walls. Shooting at the towers with siege weapons is a horrible waste of time. The amount of ammunition that it takes to destroy a tower means that if the tower is shooting at your siege weapons, you will lose that race, like very, very much. And if you are not actually trying to just destroy the tower, you would have been, if the tower's not shooting at you rather, you would have been so much better off using your ammunition shooting at the people who are controlling the tower, rather than the tower itself. Alright, so we're not seeing, yeah, we're not seeing a lot of people making contact with the wall outside of this one little stretch. Alright, I think we could probably deploy a Menace Below charge here to just finish the job. The real question is, do we need to? No, there's only one trebuchet left. I'm just going to let the tower finish. The towers finish this up. We'll use the Menace Below charges for when dudes actually make it through the wall. Actually going to pull our... Oh, never mind. Maybe I'm not going to pull our dudes. Because they're just going to fly directly to the town center, so we should probably be ready for this. I will say this would be a time to have some shields or some spears in reserve. Let's pull some spears back. Actually, these spears can come home. They are definitely not needed over here. You guys just make a move over there. And are we down to just siege crew yet? No, this one trebuchet is being protected by the tree, which is in a way that's like actually pretty annoying. I think I'm actually going to tell these spears to get up on the wall rather than going back to the center, because we're going to need some help with this. We could Doom Rocket here. I don't really want to, unless using the Doom Rocket here will will allow us to defeat this army, in which case we definitely do it so we don't have to have Wicked Claw come back here. You guys really... Look how much health you have. How are you... Oh, well, I guess you're Skaven slaves. So, cowards. Alright, I'm going to summon... Wow, look at what a bad job they're doing of surviving this battle. I mean, I guess we did some damage to them in the air before they even committed, but I'm surprised at how poorly they're fighting here. Right, we can't just let them have control of the town center, obviously. Remember, we're Skaven, so we're gonna panic and run away and then unpanic and come back. It's just like the nature of things. This is not going well at all. Over here we actually have almost killed the whole siege crew. No, never mind. We are done with the siege crew. All of those trebuchets are gone. So, that means that the towers should just fire down on the horses wherever they can. And, I mean, all the other towers are just doing... They're doing their best. They don't really have a lot of options. For some reason, they tried to climb peasant bowmen up on the wall instead of shooting at us from the ground. So, that's not going that well for them. Alright, you guys really gotta pull yourselves together here. Okay, spears are almost in. Not that our spearmen are going to do, like, great work against these things, but we do have a pretty significant bonus versus large. Oh no, they're going to run away. Alright, you guys gotta provide a little bit of an assist back here. Okay, they're taking control of this part of the wall, but they're not actually using their control of the wall for much. Okay, now they're starting to push toward the town center. Trying my best to get the Night Runners to accept the order to get back up on the wall. And then once they're up on the wall, they can start shooting at these guys. Okay, wow, we've actually almost won the fight here. I can't believe they're staying in. And then as soon as these guys make contact, we can, as soon as these guys make contact, we can summon a unit of clan rats behind them and handle that. Yeah, I think we're actually going to get a kill here. We're going to kill one of their flying units, which is ridiculous. That should be a... Those guys should be too elite for that to be a possibility. Ah, stupid clan rat spears started running away again for no reason. These, the hippogriffs are better at, much better at actual fighting than the Pegasus Knights are. What are you guys doing? Why are you not in here? Single Pegasus returns. And immediately goes, wait a second, what am I doing? No, sorry, there's two of them. No, wait, no, that's one. That one's dead. That was really just a single Pegasus. Alright, let him go. He's out of here. The siege crew has managed to climb over the wall. So that's not ideal. I mean, all of their knights are going to turn out to be completely worthless here. Which I really appreciate. Where's my other unit of... The other unit of Night Runners has run off the map or been exterminated. Also, for some reason, the gate is open, despite the fact that we are in control of the gate. You know, it's that bug. Look at how much damage we've done to them with just that passive tower control. Okay, see, Siege Crew's like, wait a second, we don't know how to fight. Unfortunately, we are actually, we are not beating this unit of Foot Squires. I might Doom Rocket. Honestly, I think there's a chance we hold here. Maybe not. Never mind. looking at the rest of the situation. Alright, you guys stay focused. Just get them to break. Yeah, we're gonna lose. We did good work here, though. This is not worth spending a Doom Rocket on. This would be like we spent a Doom Rocket to save Ikit Claw 2 turns of walking. And don't get me wrong, Ikit Claw's position totally does matter. I think we can probably just fast forward here. Don't get me wrong, Ikit Claw's position totally does matter, but I just don't... At this point, Warp Fuel is rare enough that I don't think we can afford to just spend a Doom Rocket for nothing. Especially when there's a real good chance we're going to need one in, like, the near future. But let's continue doing the damage we can do here. There's no way we beat a unit of Foot Squires. But get over there and do some damage. Okay. I thought it was a pretty valiant defeat. I'll tell you what, we dramatically outperformed the auto-resolve there. If we had hit auto-resolve on this battle, it would have wiped our unit out. It would have wiped our army out without almost any damage to them. It certainly wouldn't have broken all 4 of the tribs. Now keep in mind, they're going to take control of the settlement and sit inside of it for a moment here, so they're going to get some replenishment on that. But we did some all-right work here. 339 kills on that Hippogriff unit. Hippogriffs are legitimately scary. Like, as far as cavalry go, those are maybe the cavalry I am most worried about. Blood Knights and Black Knights from the vampire forces are also very scary. Fortunately, it looks like we probably will not have to deal with those at any point. Alright, so he reclaims Lyonesse. I guess from Castle Artois, or like from these regions, they just ran into the forest and then down the river? I can't imagine how else they would have gotten past us. That's a nice easy one to correct, though. Because Lyonesse's garrison is shattered. Obviously, they'll start rebuilding, but we're going to be able to hit them this turn. That army's in terrible shape. So that'll be a nice, easy cleanup for Ikit Claw at the beginning of next turn. Blackstone Post is now empty, because who exactly is Bretonnia at war with? So they're definitely like moving their armies around in a way that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, we know they're at war with Vashnar. I guess they're probably not running dudes down to fight the Dark Elves. Maybe Luan Leoncoeur's army really was just going to Paravon. If that's the case, I think it behooves us to try to rescue them. But I don't know if I care about rescuing them to such a degree that we'll abandon our attacks. Like we'll quote unquote rescue them by just drawing a lot of attention. That's all. But that's really a thing to worry about tomorrow. We are out of time for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I think this is going alright. We're having some minor setbacks, but on the whole, this war is going alright. Come back next time tomorrow to see it go even more alrighter. Yeah, and we'll see you then.